Today I wanted to share some easy tips and tricks that you can use to really elevate your style and make your outfits feel and look a lot more interesting. And I'm going to dive right into it. I've got lots of examples showing you the before and after, so I hope you'll find this interesting. But the first one is all around creating contrast. And there are two different ways that you can do this. It can either be contrast within the style of the items that you're wearing, or contrast in the colors that you're wearing, which I think is really fun because you've got options to play with. So for my first outfit, you can see I've got this base of a ribbed top and a red skirt, and I've really leaned into this whole French girl vibe by throwing on a trench coat and the ballet flats, and then of course the little bucket style bag. It ends up feeling a little bit flat, it doesn't feel interesting or exciting, and it almost looks like a costume. So thinking about how I can make this feel different, I'm looking at the types of items that I'm wearing and how they feel quite elegant and refined. So I want to wear something that is slouchy to combat that, and I also want to add contrast in through the color as well. So what I've done is I've thrown on this pink knit, and it's really slouchy, oversized. It kind of adds this effortlessly chic feel to the outfit, even when I add the trench coat on as well, though I think it looks great without too. The second outfit features these black silk joggers, which are really cool, feel really effortless, but if you think about a jogger, it's typically very sporty. And so for the example, I've shown you how leaning into that sporty vibes, it is a very distinct look. However, it's not nuanced and it may not necessarily be your personal style. So thinking about how you can kind of add this friction into your outfit, a great way is to look at the contrast. So what is the opposite of something that is sporty? Thinking about adding in more tailored elements. So I've removed the crossbody bag, and then I've also gotten rid of the bomber jacket and opted for a tailored blazer and then a different crossbody bag, but one that has a little bit more structure and a bit more shape to it. It doesn't feel quite so sporty or casual, so it adds in an additional element of refinement to the outfit, and I have to say I think it comes off looking really, really chic. Now today's video does include a paid partnership with Goelia, and I'm really thrilled to be partnering with them again. I've been working with them monthly, and I know many of you love my striped wool jacket photo on screen, which I've been wearing so much, but I do have some new in pieces which you will see styled throughout this entire video, and I wanted to kind of hero in on 3 items that I'm really loving in particular. And I do also have a discount code for 25% off site-wide using the code Jamie25. I think the reason why I really love Goelia is the fact that they use really high quality materials. So it kind of brings me to the first item I want to mention, which is technically 2, but it is their wool knit sweaters. So we have this beautiful fluffy cashmere knit, which is 98% cashmere, and then it's 2% other fibers, which I'm assuming is probably nylon, to add in some stretch and also just give a little bit of extra strength because it is quite a fine woven yarn. This feels almost like it must be baby cashmere or something because it is literally so much softer than many of the other cashmere knits that I own. Absolutely divine and a really lovely slim fit. Also like the fact that it has the mock neck detail because it's going to keep you nice and cozy and warm, not itchy in the slightest. And then I have one of their 100% wool sweaters as well, and again this is a really beautiful style. It's really classic and timeless, like a good basic to have, and one that I'm actually really excited to now have in my wardrobe because I didn't have something like this already. And I found myself leaning into wearing a lot more of these slimmer tops, especially when I'm wearing jeans, kind of moving away from a lot of that oversized knitwear that I know many of you do not love. But this is just, again, really beautiful, and it doesn't feel itchy or rough. It's not as soft as the cashmere, but it is still really beautiful and holds its own. So those are the knit sweaters. Then of course those silk trousers that I shared just before. The silk on this is really interesting. It is actually kind of textured, which hopefully you'll get a good sense of from the cutaways, and also you can pop it in the washing machine, and I love that. I would put it on a hand wash setting rather than cold wash as they recommend, just so that I know it's an extra gentle cycle. But yeah, I just think they're really cool. They add a nice element of shine to an outfit, and a silk jogger is a great way to elevate this more sporty style. I do have these in a size small, and the fact that they've got the flat front detail as well makes them feel a little bit more refined than if it was elasticated the entire way around. So I think you could get get away with wearing these to the office as well, depending on your styling. Finally, I wanted to share this coat. And I mean, I had heard really beautiful things about Goelia's coats. You know that I love their trenches, but I hadn't tried any of their really kind of thick woolen coats, and this again is just outstanding quality. It is 90% wool and 10% silk, so it has this really luxurious quality to it. When you touch it, it does actually almost feel like it might have cashmere blended into it. It is really, really soft, and the detail I really like on this as well, which is very, very practical, is that there is this little loop detail so that you can ensure that the belt won't fall off. Really, really brilliant, and also love that you have that seamless finish with the buttons and also that stitching detail. So a little reminder that I do have that discount code Jamie25 if you have been eyeing anything up from Goelia. It's a really good opportunity to add something to cart, and I will be sure to link all of the Goelia items along with everything else that I shared down in the description box below. Just click show more. Okay, so the next tip is to really think about the rule of thirds or the rule of three, and there's two different concepts here. So the rule of thirds, it really kind of draws back to architecture and how things are really a lot more visually appealing, or they're easy on the eye when they're in threes. It's referred to as the golden ratio, and we can think about this in our outfits as well. So you'll see here for this outfit, what I've done is I've worn a t-shirt and a pair of jeans, but these jeans are a low rise, so they kind of break my body up in an awkward proportion. They make my legs look shorter, and not only that, it's kind of like I'm breaking my body up in half. What we want to do is visually break up our outfit into thirds. There are two different ways that I could do this. The first would be to keep the base outfit as is and add on a jacket. So you can see even with an oversized longer blazer, one that kind of hangs below my hips, that there is a little bit more balance here, and it almost feels like it's breaking up the outfit in more of a proportionally appealing way. However, when I change it to an even longer jacket, one that actually does take up 2/3 of my outfit, it kind of really enhances this feeling that the outfit is visually balanced. And sometimes it could be just this one little thing that could be throwing your entire outfit off. The other option would be to actually just change my trousers entirely and opt for one that is a higher rise, so that my top is 1/3 of my outfit and my trousers are 2/3. And you can see the trousers or jeans that I decided to wear are ones that have a slightly longer inseam as well, so visually they end up making my legs look a lot longer than they actually are. Then we have the rule of three, which is thinking about the elements in your outfit. So having no more than 3 components to your outfit so that visually it looks peaceful, calming, it isn't too cluttered or messy. And I kind of want to talk about how with this one, I like to bring it back to basics. So you can see here with this outfit, I have on this beautiful cotton pleated dress. There's pleating at the neckline. There's also pleating on the skirt. I have on this beautiful belted cardigan, so it's adding in another dimension with cinching in at the waist. It's got the additional texture of the wool. Then I have the textured sandals, which are in a bright color, and also the textured straw bag. It is just too much. There's a lot going on and my eye does not know where to settle. So what I would recommend doing is just going back a notch and thinking about how you can take it back to more of a basic outfit that you really love. Because sometimes I think that you can see so much inspiration online that you feel almost like you need to experiment more with your wardrobe. But some of the best outfits that we make are the ones that are really kind of leaning onto our style uniforms. So what I've done is I've decided to kind of get rid of the dress. It's just a bit too fussy, a lot going on, and replace that with a pair of trousers. So now I have a clean neckline and I've got that cinched in detail at the waist, and I've got that beautiful wool texture off the net with this lovely pinstripe trouser, which is quite subtle. I went for a minimal sandal because I really wanted this to not be part of the equation at all. You can see here, even with the straw bag, this looks really quite balanced now. It feels like there's not too much going on. Another example of taking it back to basics would be to style a new piece with items and silhouettes you know well. For example, this kind of schoolgirl-esque pleated skirt. It's a little bit out of my usual wheelhouse, so in order to stop it from feeling too preppy, I've paired it with an oversized knit and an oversized blazer, keeping the Mary Jane flats. Taking it one step further, I'm adding in some friction with the combat boots, and I feel like this is a really chic outfit. My next style tip is to to have a style or silhouette that you can always reach for in the morning. The reason why I like this is because it takes the guesswork out of getting dressed. So it means you can get up and you know that you've got a certain formula that you can put together. It's almost like fashion maths, and then you have a great outfit. And what this does is it allows you to play around with the individual pieces and the way that you make up that formula, the way you build it and put it together. And even with just one simple formula, you can come up with endless outfit opportunities, and I really like that. And that's one of the things I love about personal style. And if you follow me on TikTok, then you will see my daily outfits, and you'll see that I tend to use these little style formulas, but I switch them up a little bit. So there's always a little bit of variation, but it's the same sort of a theme, if you know what I mean. I've been talking for years, and I mean over a decade now, about how I like the items in my wardrobe to do double duty, sometimes even triple duty. So it means it needs to be able to work for the office, it needs to work for the weekend. Can I wear it for an evening out? Can I take it on holiday with me? Can I do XYZ in said item? And when you find pieces that really do kind of fit that mold, that can just work beyond one particular scenario, you've kind of hit the jackpot. And that's why I really wanted to kind of focus in on these silk trousers. And I think just a good black trouser in general is a great piece to have in your wardrobe because it can be worn year round depending on the fabrication that you get, and it can be dressed up, dressed down, worn for work, worn casually with a t-shirt. You have so many outfit options. So I've kind of shown you a few variations with these trousers. So more of a beach ready kind of casual outfit. Then we've got your kind of evening going out outfit, something that's a little bit more glam with the bejeweled heels. And then we also have our office ready outfit. So I've put on that little bit of tailoring and a high heel so that feels a little bit more formal, so that I've upped the formality level. And you can kind of see that these are really versatile, and this is just scratching the surface on the different types of outfits that I could wear these with and the different scenarios that this would work for. So just kind of taking that into consideration, and also thinking about not necessarily like I could wear XYZ outfits with this item, but more I could wear XYZ items with this outfit and they are actually practical and useful for my daily life. Because it's one thing to know you could put items together in your wardrobe, but it's another for you to actually wear and reach for them because they work for your lifestyle and they're not just something that your fantasy self has conjured up. My next tip is all around wearing items in your wardrobe in a way different from how they're intended. And I want to use the silk scarf as an example. I do have an entire video on styling hacks. I'm gonna share that up here in the cards because there's lots of different ideas in that video. So I mean, typically when we think of a scarf, we're thinking about wrapping it around our neck, maybe even using it as a little bit of a cover up as well. But I personally really like the idea of wearing something like this as a top. I think that this just feels a little bit fun. It's a great way to get creative with the things that you own in your wardrobe, especially when you are starting to think outside the box. So even things like turning your shirt into a off-the-shoulder top, or even a skirt, depending on how you choose to put it on and tie it up. I think that can be really fun. Even using things like knitwear as scarves by knotting them around our neck and then just throwing a coat over the top. No one would be any the wiser. There are just so many different ways that we can wear our wardrobe, and it's a great way to have fun with what you have. My final tip is to create dimension in your outfits. And for me, this really is through texture and print. Because what this does is it adds layers to our outfit in a visual sense rather than in a physical sense, and that can be a great way to make things feel more interesting and also just a little bit more exciting. I don't think that this translates quite so well on camera, but for my initial outfit you can see I've got two very kind of flat items. Cotton in particular I think is a really good example of this, of how it is just a really flat fabric. So these kind of almost look the same. There's not really any variation in the texture, and I want to create some visual interest. So what I decided to do was switch out that top for something in a similar color, but in a different fiber. So I've gone with that cashmere knit mock neck that I shared earlier, and this adds this nice fuzzy coziness to the outfit. Now I have cheated a little bit here because I've also added on a third piece, and for this I've opted for that wool coat. And again, this adds in a slightly different texture to the outfit as well, and it just adds in that visual dimension that I've really been talking about and that I was craving from that initial first base outfit. So those are some tools that you can use to make your outfits feel elevated and feel more visually interesting. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you got some takeaways from it, maybe some outfit ideas, but also some ideas for styling your own wardrobe. The more you play with your wardrobe, the more you come up with these little mini concepts that help you to really refine your style and I guess make fashion fun, make styling your outfits fun, and there's always something fresh and new to look forward to. Again, thank you to Goelia for partnering with me on part of this video, and don't forget I have that discount code Jamie25 to get 25% off your order. Everything I shared will be linked down below. If you're new here and you want more styling tips from me, then please do subscribe and I will see you very soon with a brand new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.